When I first started to shave with a safety razor, one of these, I actually found that I wasn't getting the most use out of my blade as I could. I actually found that on a good razor, I would be able to get like 4 good shaves before the edge got kind of ragged. But there were times when I would use the same razor, the same brand and everything, but I would get to that same ragged place after like 2 attempts instead of 3 or 4. And after a bunch of trial and error, I think it came down to the fact that when I take this blade and I load it onto my razor, onto the actual razor itself, if I did all 4 shaves with the razor in the same position, meaning I wasn't flipping it, I wasn't flipping it around like that, then I would basically erode the cutting edge really, really fast. Whereas if I shaved once with this face up and then the next time shaving with that face down, it seemed to have spread out the erosion of the cutting edge better. And as long as I alternated and switched sides, I could get like 4 good uses out of that. So 2, like basically 4 flips. And so once I determined that, I set out to create a system for how to do that reliably. And here's what I did. So you'll notice that this blade here, actually what I do is as soon as I open a blade, I actually take a Sharpie and I mark up one side of it. And these are Feather stainless steel razors from Japan. And you'll see that they actually have like a single hash mark on one side and a double hash mark on the other side. That's important because that helps me keep track, and I'll show you how. When so this is the actual top part of my razor. This kind of sits on top like this. When I'm loading my razor at the end of a shave, I clean everything off and then I load the blade back on. This piece actually has, it's asymmetric. This side is flat and this side has a little divot, which is kind of hard to see, but it's got like an indent. So what I do to get 4 alternating shaves is I take my razor with the Sharpie side, and then I basically orient it so that the single hash mark, when I put it into this piece, that the single hash mark here is on the right. And then I do my shave, clean up my razor. As soon as I'm done, I then flip this over so that the unmarked side has the 1 on it, and that's the second shaving position. So I put that in there, do my shave. As soon as I'm done with that shave and I'm cleaning up the razor, I then flip it over again so it's the Sharpie side up, but this time I just move it 180 degrees. From a shaving perspective, that doesn't matter, but what does matter is that the 2 mark side is now on the right. So when I load that, I can keep track of it. And then the last shave, I flip it one more time, Sharpie side down, the double hash mark is on the right. And that's the 4th and final shave. At the end of that shave, I then discard this razor, load a new one, pull out my Sharpie and mark it all over again. So that's how I do it. The reason that that's helpful is because I don't have to keep track of where I'm at on any given day. If as soon as I grab my razor the next day, I know it's right because I set it correctly the last time I used the blade. So I can just dive into the shave, get it done. And then as soon as I'm done and I'm cleaning up the razor, that's when all the decision making happens. And I know the progression, right? So it's going to be, the first shave is Sharpie side up, 1 hash mark on the right. The second position is, I had that backwards. So now it's Sharpie side down, hash mark on the right. Third shave is Sharpie side up, double hash on the right. 4th shave is Sharpie side down, double hash on the right. Whenever I'm done doing this shave for the day, all I have to do is look at whatever position I'm on, and then if I'm on stage 4, the 4th shave, where it's like Sharpie side down, 2 hashes on the right, I know at that point I just discard the blade, pull a new one. Let's say I'm on Sharpie side up, double hash on the right, then I know that it's a matter of flipping it, and then that's now ready for the 4th shave. And so this system allows me to not have to keep track like overall. I can just kind of know where I'm at in the moment and make the right decision. And by doing it this way, it basically guarantees that I'm going to have 4 good shaves per blade. Kind of takes all the decision and tracking out of it, makes it somewhat mindless, and it's basically how I'm able to get the most value out of each blade that I use. That's a system that worked for me. I hope that if you're getting into razor blades, or perhaps you've had the same problems I've had, maybe this will be helpful to you. And I think there are other brands that have other kind of markings that doesn't require like the using a Sharpie, but I really like this brand. It's super sharp. It holds its edge really well, and it just gives me the best shave. And so I had to develop a system that worked with its constraints, and that's the one I came up with. I hope that helps you, and I'll see you in the next one.